Welcome to my hot sauce adventure. If you're like me and can't get enough of that spicy kick, you're in the right place. Get ready to burn. I'm JP, and I've reviewed over 100 sauces and counting, and it's been one heck of a ride. From the scorching heat of the Carolina Reapers to the tangy zest of the habanero blends, I want to try them all. But my trip to pain doesn't stop there. It's just getting started. Join me as I seek out the hottest, most tantalizing, and sometimes painful sauces from every corner of the planet. Here comes the pain. Get ready for an adventure like no other. Whether you're a seasoned chili head or just dipping your toes into the fiery world of hot sauce for the first time, there's something here for everyone. Come along through the heat, one sauce at a time. Bring on the heat. It's time to burn. This is Hot Sauce Simulation. I'm JP. We've got some hot sauces. This week we've got two coming from Hellfire. Now they did a little package deal and all that where you get them and all that. Sent out a cool little sticker. They also sent out the bottles with signatures on. Very cool. So we are working with Baby Buffalo, which you can see got some signatures on there. Very fancy. And we have Buffalo Hell, which again, signatures, because I'm a cool kid like that. Let's get started with Baby Buffalo. Now, these are described as a wing sauce, so I'm kind of excited to see what's in there. It gets a little more separation than your average Hellfire sauce. I don't know if you can see that right there. There's a little bit of like almost an oil-ish separation. Not a problem. Just mix it up. So, very excited about that. You can get this at hellfirehotsauce.com along with all their other hot sauces, which I've reviewed quite a few here. The pepper in this Baby Buffalo sauce is cayenne, which, you know, that's usually when you go with a wing sauce, that's usually the guy they go with. So, let's open this bad boy up. We got no restrictor on the top because Hellfire loves me. It's got a wing scent to it, which, you know, for a wing sauce, that's pretty good. That's what you want. Let's go with the tasting blade. Oh, that's a super fast pour. We gotta be careful with that one. Whew. That wants to just fly out of there. So, here we go. Well, that's good. That's a very tasty sauce. It's a very tasty sauce. Let's give it a minute to cook. Though I do like the flavor. It's a really good flavor. It is what it says it is. It is a wing sauce. Like, I don't even think you need to put anything in it. Like, you could just use it straight out of the bottle. So after giving that a couple minutes, it does have some heat. There's a little bit of heat in my throat. It's not bad. It's definitely not a super hot sauce. It's definitely a savory sauce. The heat, I'd say, probably is around maybe a 2 or 3. I'll probably give it a 3. Let's see if, hold on. Yeah, not killer on the way back up either. In the burps. I talked about this before. I was born in Buffalo. Grew up in Western New York. Very much, you know, Buffalo Bills fan, Sabres fan. You can see that right here. Yes, I know. You're sorry. Thank you. Whatever. Sabres are rough this year. It happens. Bills may or may not have been cheated out of some things. That's a different topic. We aren't talking sports here, because I could do that all day. But wings are something that I always grew up with them being just good, like pretty much from anywhere. Then I moved around, lived in a couple of different places, and discovered that I was very lucky growing up. Lived in a few places where the wings were basically just chicken wings cooked in an oven, slathered with whatever hot sauce they get their hands on, and served with ranch dressing. And yes, we can go into that ranch blue cheese thing, and you're not going to win because you're wrong if you say ranch. But what if the blue cheese isn't good? then don't do it with anything. I don't need it with blue cheese. I don't need it with ranch. I like my wings the way they are. But you know, the big problem is you run into these spots where people are like, oh, they're so good, you gotta try them. And especially being where I'm from, people are always telling me, oh no, they're good here. They're really good here. You know, and I've been disappointed a lot in my life with that whole thing. I'd say most of the time when somebody says the wings are good, they're not. So, you know, that's right. But what does it take to get a good wing? Like how can you really justify? First off, they're not breaded. That's a little weird to me. It's always been a little weird, the breaded wing. I mean, if that's your only choice, whatever. But I'm not a big fan of it. But you want the outside to be crispy. That's a big key point. Outside's got to be crispy. If you're lucky, the place maybe marinates them or brines them or does something with them. Then you don't always have that situation happening, and that's okay. If you got a weird, squishy, soggy wing, that's disgusting. That's just odd. So then the next step is you got your wing, it's crispy, cooked right, excellent. Now comes the sauce. Usually go with a Louisiana style sauce. No, originally it was Frank's Red Hot and butter was all they needed. And honestly, that's really all you do need. That is where you're going to get a good mix. You don't need any fancy wing sauce, though you can use them. A lot of them are pretty good. You can use the Louisiana sauce. You can use like Texas Pete. You can use pretty much any Louisiana style cayenne sauce, and mix it with butter, and just coat those bad boys in that. If you want some extra heat, you can add it. Just make sure that you have the cayenne sauce as your base. The cayenne sauce and butter as your base, and then you add whatever insane hot stuff you want, except for the bomb. If you add that, you're just a terrible human being. There's no reason to do that. You got it coated, maybe get them a little bit wet, and what that means is with a little bit extra sauce in there, so if for some reason something doesn't got enough sauce on it, you can kind of give it a quick little dip in there, roll in there. You should have a great wing there. Now some people again like to have something with it. Some people like ranch, and they're wrong. But I understand the reasoning behind some of these misguided people's ranch obsession. Because sometimes you don't have good blue cheese. And that's understandable. If you have some really gross blue cheese, you might think ranch is a good option. Gross blue cheese is gross. I mean, some people don't even like that. Like that mostly because they've never had good blue cheese. I have had good blue cheese. I'm not a huge fan of having it on my wings or with my Buffalo Pepsis. There are people who do, but I just prefer my wings just wing sauce, and that's it. But if you need that cooling flavor, you need a quality blue cheese. Either some places, a lot of places, will make their own, and that usually is a pretty good deal there. Or there are a few brands that are pretty good. I know a lot of people like Ken's. That's pretty good. But the blue cheese, if you're going to dip it in something, it has to be the right kind of blue cheese. Would this sauce make a good wing sauce? Absolutely. It's tasty. Like I said, I actually think you could just put it in there without even adding anything to it. Like, I don't think you need to add much. It's got good heat. It's not too much heat. It's good enough to where you'll feel warm, but you're not going to die. And if you're a big spice person, you love the heat, maybe we'll try this other one and see how that goes. Up next, we have Halloween hot sauce, Buffalo Hell. Now, this one is a little bit different than the baby buffalo because this one has Reaper in it. So I'm expecting a little more of a kick than the other one. All right, let's give it a sniff. Hellfire does not put the restrictors on there because they love me. Maybe not just me, but, still. Oh! There's Reaper in there. Oh, man. And my eyes are tearing up a little bit. That is, woo! That got me. That one got me pretty good. I should have known better. This looks like a pretty quick sauce, so I gotta be careful with this one. Tasting blade. Let's be very careful here. Whoa. Let's see the label there. Let's be careful with this guy. It's got a very quick pour. Oh, it wants to just fly out of there. Oh, look at that. Look at that go. There we go. Exciting. So this has got the Reaper in it, so let's hope it keeps me warm. Oh, that is so good. That is really good. And you can feel the Reapers right away. I like the flavor it adds, though. It's wonderful. The Reapers are already kind of causing some chaos, burning my throat a little bit. Let's give this a minute or two to let it do its thing. I feel it's a little bit in my throat here, which is under the beard, which I don't think you can see. But trust me, there's a throat under the beard. So let's give this a second. Gave it a couple minutes, and it is still warming up. My lips are burning a little bit. My mouth is burning a little bit. I feel the trail all the way down to my stomach, which pretty nice. I'd say with this guy, it's a savory sauce that's got a 6 out of 10 for the heat. Would totally work on wings. Pretty spicy wings. They'd be tasty though. I've been asked about the whole Buffalo Pepsi thing, and you know, I've been doing it for over a year now. Started doing it with a couple people. The pro wrestler Santa Chiva was one of the first guys I did it with. Shout out to Santa Chiva. Love that guy. Check him out here. I've done it with a bunch of people watching Buffalo Bills games after victories. Usually watching games at Bonnie's Grill in Brooklyn, New York, with the Bonnie's Bills backers after a victory. Usually myself and a number of the people there will have one. Some people are terrified by the fact that I will usually just right down the hatch with them. It's not a big deal to me. Usually I have a stomach full of chicken wings already. When I do these reviews, I do not. Sometimes it's a little bit later at night, and I don't want to be drinking 9 bottles of Pepsi. But I mean, I've done it with family members. I've done it with pro wrestlers. I've done it with all sorts of people, and it's always a fun thing. And usually, it's a pleasant surprise for a lot of people. They expect it to be awful, but then when it's not, when it's like, oh, this actually isn't too bad. I can see, putting like whiskey in it or something else, or vodka. Or usually it's vodka. People tend to think of it as more like a little bit sweeter and spicier Bloody Mary. We've got the Pepsi, a glass. We have the hot sauce. Let's make us some Buffalo Pepsis. Now, I know normally I do a full glass, but for sampling purposes, we're just going to go with a smaller glass because I just need to, get a taste for it. If you see me out in public and ever want me to do one with you, I have zero problems doing these with people. Well, let's see, we'll throw a little bit more in there. There. But we'll do that and throw some hot sauce in there. I'm not going to do the optional blue cheese because it's optional. First things first, we will start with baby buffalo. I should probably mix this up a little bit because it is a very fast pour. I gotta be a little bit careful with this. I don't want to pour too much in there. Got my Pepsi. Let's get a little bit of that in there. All right, mixing knife. Let's mix that bad boy up. And yes, the Pepsi does kind of get an orangish color to it. I don't know if you can see that, but I can. Oh. Wow, it's actually separating up like wing sauce usually does. I'm kind of surprised about that. Foam on the top there that I think is usually butter or something kind of separating out due to the whatever. But we'll see. So, Hellfire hot sauce, Baby Buffalo, Will It Buffalo Pepsi. It does. It does. It really does kind of hit like a wing sauce. Like an actual wing sauce, like one you'd get in a restaurant. I kind of a little surprised by that. Definitely gets a thumbs up from me. Does it? Buffalo Pepsi? Yes. Up next, we have our Pepsi. We have our sauce. This is Buffalo Hell. I'll put that bad boy in there. And I am going with a smaller glass of it because I do have to drink a number of these doing these reviews. So, mix that up. Gets nice and orange. Let's see if this forms that weird kind of foamy stuff at the top. It does. Oh, you can see that. There's that stuff. See that orange stuff there? That usually happens with regular wing sauce, which I usually attribute to like whatever else is in a wing sauce aside from, you know, hot sauce, which I assume is just like butter. I don't know. It might be butter. I don't know what it is in this one, but it smells spicy. So, Will, Buffalo Hell, Buffalo Pepsi. Here we go. Ooh, that is spicy. There's still a Reaper in there. Gotta be careful. It doesn't taste quite the same as the Baby Buffalo. Baby Buffalo has a slightly better flavor when it comes to the Buffalo Pepsi. It does hit a little bit harder. So, will it Buffalo Pepsi? Yes. Here's the recap. We have Hellfire, Baby Buffalo hot sauce made by Hellfire Hot Sauce. You get the hellfirehotsauce.com. It has a cayenne pepper in it. The sniff test has it smelling like chicken wings, which is what you want. It has a super fast pour. It is a savory sauce that I said is about a 3 out of 10. And does it Buffalo Pepsi? Yes, and it's actually pretty tasty. So give that a shot. Hellfire Hot Sauce, Buffalo Hell. You can get this at hellfirehotsauce.com. It has a cayenne and a Carolina Reaper pepper in there. You give this thing a sniff, and that Carolina Reaper reaches out of the bottle, punches you right in the face. It has a fast pour. It is a savory sauce that it's a 6 out of 10 on the heat scale for me. It does Buffalo Pepsi, but it doesn't quite taste as good as the Baby Buffalo. I guess the flavor combination just works a little bit better. So that's it for me. We only had 2 hot sauces this week. Don't worry, next one is going to be 4. Heck, maybe even the one after that will be 4. Keep trying hot sauces. If you have any you want to recommend to me or send to me or whatever, you can message me on Instagram here and all that. Please do all the subscribing and liking and all that stuff. Leave a comment, whatever. What's the best chicken wing spot you've been to? Or where's the best wing sauce you've had? Or what's the best Buffalo Pepsi you've had? Feel free to let me know. Thanks.